Good afternoon, evening, good morning, whatever time you're listening, and welcome to Channeling Consciousness. I decided to do a card pull in my car because that's where I am and that's where I have time. So we're going to do a car card pull. I actually have already shuffled and pulled the cards out because I knew I would not have enough hands because I do not have my phone on a stand. So I'm going to go ahead and put these up. The first card was the Four of Spring. This is all about being grateful, celebrating deep feelings of peace and happiness. The couple looks like they are celebrating an anniversary or something. They've got like the Disney kind of castle going on here in the background. Lots of abundance of flowers. She is in her radiant beauty there. And then we have the Ace of Spring, which I find interesting. This is also a spring card, but this is like, it's the words on the card are, it's time to take action, be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams, amazing career opportunities. This is something young. So the Four of Spring almost feels like these two together have created this young energy. And this does not necessarily have to be a child, but it could be the energy of a project or something that they are creating together. It's very fertile, it's very new, it's very joyful, it's exciting. There's a lot going on here, a lot to be grateful for, but there is in this newness of spring, when we are planting our flowers and growing, we do have to pay a lot of attention to detail, and we do have to water our garden. We have to do all those things to take care of these creatures, to take care of what's growing, so that it can be fruitful, and so it can be harvested in the autumn, right? The next card is the Five of Summer. Trust there's a reason for everything that happens. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare there. It talks a little bit about removing yourself from negative emotions. And if you look at this fairy on the card, she is a little bit kind of apprehensive, a little on edge. She's really kind of watching her back, making sure that what's going on is legit, and that nobody's sneaking up on her. Ooh, that sun has changed locations on me. And then we have the Dreamer, and this again is, ooh, it's going to go into my little hole here. This is young energy. It's the starting over. It's the Zero card. So in traditional tarot, this is the Fool. And so you see she's on her way. She's packed up, actually not very much of her stuff. She just has a little knapsack there. And she is heading out on an excursion. And she is actually, not following the beaten path there. You can see that she is off the beaten path. And that she has her little dog and her bird with her. They are happy to accompany her wherever she's going. And she looks like she doesn't really care about what anybody's opinion is. She's just off on her way. And then we have the Three of Autumn. I'm going to have to stack these on top of each other. And the Three of Autumn is following your passion, being compensated for your creative talents. So basically the autumn is about like your work life, your life in 3D, like the doing in the 3D world. And so this is about, what you're doing for your job, what you're doing for your career, having it align with your passion, having it align, or at least having hobbies that align with your passion so that your cup is being filled. And not being afraid to be compensated for your work, not being afraid to accept the exchange for the work that you're putting in. And again, this could be the beginning of your work here, and this is still your work, but it's being shown just in a little bit of a different way in this card. And I feel like this really is a spread of new beginnings and of gratitude, of now, here we've got a couple, and here this individual, both these individuals are on their own. Well, these three, all these four. But what it feels like is that these are the people, the actual people in 3D, and this is the energy of what's being created. So whatever is being created is not on the beaten path. Whatever is being created is something different. It does not follow the normal pathway of whatever is being created. And this feels like a business of some sort, or a career, but it is not your typical 9-to-5 thing. Okay. And it is all about having the support. Like you've got somebody here working with you, and you've got support system, you've got all this newness and needing to, fertilize it and water it and all that. And then there is just this little bit of a, hey, just so you know, you still need to be aware of what's going on around you, is basically what this is saying. It's not a scary card. It's just a, hey, don't forget to be logical and practical sometimes along the way. So it's a really nice spread. I pulled a couple cards from another deck. And this card is the Stand Your Ground deck. It says, standing your ground is an empowering, confidence-building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. Know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. So if there's something going on in your life, I don't necessarily feel like this has to do with the situation that is with this set of cards. It may be something different within your life that you've been struggling to assert yourself and stand your ground, because in not doing that, you are not being authentic and truthful to yourself, and you are betraying yourself. So don't be the people pleaser. Don't betray yourself. Do what you know is right. Do what you know you need to do, even if that seems like traditionally that would have felt selfish to you. And then we have the Ground Yourself card. Being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, impatient are all signs that you're ungrounded. Now's the time to become centered and allow Spirit to help you ground yourself and reconnect with the divine source. I can take that card myself. I am sure we all can take that card at different points throughout our days. So, maybe and this is something I've thought of, so this may be for me, where I'm like, maybe I just need to set a little timer on my phone that reminds me to check in. There's those focus timers or those focus alarms that just remind me to check in and say, hey, Spirit, let me reconnect with you. Let me be grateful for you, grateful for the things in my life. Let me just check in with Source. Let me reconnect myself to the divine in this moment, to help me feel more in alignment consistently throughout my day. Because I know for me right now, that's something that I am missing. And so maybe that's something that would be helpful to you. Or if you have some kind of little reminder, whatever that is, if you're starting your day that way, if you're ending your day that way, if when you go to take a sip of your water from your water bottle, you become aware and reconnect that way. I feel like you just need to have a system within yourself to do that. And then I pulled a card from another deck. This is the Innocence card. And it really is lit up there on that card. I know my sun is shining and reflecting. And the back of it says that, innocence, purity, joy. You're being encouraged to just be you. Be a shining light for the world. Expect positive outcomes to flow from your honesty and pure intentions. I think this goes back to standing your ground, and also your innocence, purity, joy, all of that stuff that you're doing to shine your light for the world through this back piece here. Through your passion, through your work, comes out this way, comes out flowing through this way. Positivity comes from your honesty, comes from your pure intentions. People feel that energy, right? So this is just a reminder of that. And then I have these little itty bitty cards that I like to pull from. And our first one, that's not gonna work. Okay, your second one, I'll look up that first one in a second, was observation. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. Observation. And this doesn't mean don't be involved in conversations. This means be observant of both yourself and others. Be observant of your energy that you're bringing into things, and the energy of other people. and expand your consciousness. When we are observant, when we allow our mind to relax and observe, we often are able to take in information, receive downloads. We observe things in ways that we had not observed them before because we are simply taking the time to observe, which allows for changes in perspective, which allows for us to be more open to receiving. So that's what I have to say about that card. I need to get this card that dropped. I know this is not the most beautiful setup in the world, but you know what? I wanted to do something that brought me joy today. And so, not that other things didn't bring me joy, but I love being in the energy of spirit, and this is a way for me to do it today while my little one was taking a nap in the car. And then the first card that actually popped up in this deck is Ascension. Your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness, and you are ready for this. I believe that part of how you're doing this is by observing, by living authentically through your purpose, through your work, through your passion, allowing yourself to shine your light. Again, there was just this little blip back here on this blue card that I'm going to remind us about. I said, just make sure that you are aware and that you are observing. This goes kind of a little bit back to the observing card. There's a reason for everything that happens. This also goes to the Stand Your Ground card. Okay, so there's something going on here also that requires your attention in a different way and requires you to put forth your energy in a way that you are not, you don't always like to do because it's uncomfortable. And it's saying to do it. It's saying that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to stand your ground. It's okay for you to then ground. Because in doing this, you are still living your authentic truth. You are able to do what you need to do to shine your light. And it's not something that is going to hurt somebody else. It's not going out of your way to hurt anybody else's energy or anything like that. It is literally protecting yourself from something else that's going on, is what I feel like that is saying there. With that, I will leave this with you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you for stopping by and listening to my very quick general reading for today. This is timeless, so whenever you hear it, you're supposed to hear it, but this was recorded on June 14th, 2023.